CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
An arrest warrant has been issued for a Langford man who is suspected of attacking a popular busker in downtown Victoria. Police are looking for 23-year-old Shane Michael Daly. When Darth Fiddler was assaulted last summer, there was a public outcry. The attack came without warning while Darth was in the middle of a set at his usual spot at Government and Wharf Streets. The busker sustained minor injuries only, but his violin was broken when he was tackled and knocked to the ground. The public outcry was immediate and swift, and a flood of tips came to police.
Yeah, the information that our officers received from the public was integral in getting this case to where it is now. Once it went out to social media, a lot of people became interested in it and, certainly offered to help the busker. Became such a story that actually Larson Music donated a new violin and violin bow to him as a result of all the conversations that were had on there. So we certainly did get a lot of tips from the public in relation to that.
Shane Michael Daly is wanted for assault and mischief. His last known address is Langford, but police have not been able to track him down. Anyone who knows anything about the whereabouts of Shane Daly is asked to contact Vic PD's Major Crimes Division and Detective Laurie Beauvais. In Nanaimo, a man's been arrested after an outraged BC Ferries passenger punched an employee in the head. Police say the man became upset after missing the 3 o'clock sailing from Nanaimo Saturday afternoon. The 26-year-old, police say, was in a vehicle with 2 women. They drove up to the ticket booth and the agent told them they were going to have to wait till the next sailing. Police say at that point the irate man jumped out of the vehicle, confronted the ticket agent. Several BC Ferries employees came to assist her, and during the confrontation a male employee was punched in the head.
Our members arrived, and this male was prepared to get into an altercation with them. They deployed OC spray, also known as pepper spray, which was effective. They took the male into custody, and he was transported to cells. Alcohol was a contributing factor. He was held for a number of hours and released later that night on a promise to appear. He's looking at least 1 count of assault.
None of the BC Ferries employees was seriously injured. The man's first court appearance is set for next February 14th. A lawyer for the province says British Columbians will be in danger if a judge does not suspend a ruling that struck down BC's drunk driving law. The government went to BC Supreme Court in Vancouver today to try to suspend the earlier decision that says the law is unconstitutional. The automatic roadside suspensions and vehicle seizures are credited with saving lives and reducing drunk driving accidents since the law came in about a year ago. But an earlier decision says that law violates drivers' charter rights, and anyone who is charged under it should get a clean slate.
It means writing checks to people for the money that they're out, taking the driving prohibition off their record and giving them their licenses back.
The province wants that decision suspended until next June to give the legislature time to rewrite the law. Well, the Victoria Hospitals Foundation has received a $48,000 donation, which will help purchase state-of-the-art equipment for newborn babies in the neonatal intensive care unit at Victoria General Hospital. The money was raised at the HP Advanced Solutions 14th Annual Charity Golf Classic held at Royal Colwood Golf Club. And the money will be used to purchase 17 infant resuscitators known as Neopuffs. The respiratory equipment will help critically ill newborns to breathe. Since 1997, HP Advanced Solutions has raised more than $500,000 for the Victoria Hospitals Foundation with its annual golf tournament. Well, helping hands are coming together in a Victoria kitchen to give a warm Christmas dinner to those who are in need this holiday season. The chefs are busy carving the turkeys, mashing the potatoes, and cutting all the vegetables at Our Place. Volunteers are preparing the trimmings for the Our Place annual Christmas dinner, which happens tomorrow. The shelter is expecting 1,200 people, more than that even. The dinner includes more than 60 gallons of gravy to go with all that turkey.
300 kilograms of turkey is going into this meal. Stuffing, vegetables, cranberry, the gravy, the whole works. So big pots, big production. We get lots of great volunteers. We had great staff all dedicated to having some fun and getting the meal served. And there's just a monstrous amount of volunteers involved as well. And they're the real backbone of the whole process.
The Christmas dinner at Our Place begins at 11:30 tomorrow morning and continues until 5 tomorrow afternoon. The Nanaimo's emergency response team swarmed a neighborhood in Departure Bay this afternoon after a man threatened to harm himself and someone else in his home. Because there were weapons in the home, police evacuated neighboring homes during the 2-hour standoff. It ended peacefully just after 5 o'clock tonight. Nobody was hurt. A program in Nanaimo that is geared at getting drunk drivers off the road is claiming another success. It's called RID 911. Remove impaired drivers by calling 911. Early Sunday morning, a Nanaimo couple did just that to report what they believed was a drunk driver. And police say when they caught up with the man, they found he had his 5-year-old son in the back seat of the car. The couple first spotted the car on Uplands Drive going down the wrong side of the road. They followed the vehicle and watched it turn into oncoming traffic and then collide with an SUV at the intersection with Hammond Bay.
After the collision with the SUV, they followed it along Uplands and then went to a driveway on a street off of Turner. There, they waited and they called the police. The members attended shortly thereafter, where we took control of the scene. They found a male, 38-year-old male, highly intoxicated in the driver's seat, and much to their shock, they also found a 5-year-old boy in the back seat. He later was determined to be the driver's son. He was turned over to the grandmother who lives at the house. The male was taken into custody, arrested for impaired driving, where he provided 2 breath samples in the office. It was 230 and 240, which is 3 times the legal limit.
The highly intoxicated driver was taken into custody, released in the morning when sober. The RID 911 caller says he still can't believe everything he witnessed that night.
Well, it wasn't a case where, a guy just narrowly wandered around the road a bit or there was some iffiness to it. Yeah. He was clearly impaired or ill or something was drastically wrong. He was all over the road and he was risking anyone's life that he came across. He was traveling from speeds of near stop to quite high speeds and just really scary. I mean, my wife and I both at that point were very happy that he hadn't had a head-on, that he had missed going up Uplands Drive on the wrong side of the road by ever so much, and he had an accident after that, and we never saw the little guy in the car, and we were just happy he was safe.
The driver's first appearance in court is scheduled for March 6th next year. Doctors in Campbell River say they are feeling pressure from the Vancouver Island Health Authority to support plans for a new hospital. They say VIHA has been asking them to sign a letter of support for the new hospital without the full assurance that it will meet the needs of the people in the Campbell River region. But VIHA says if the doctors really don't want to sign, they don't have to, and the business case will move ahead.
There's lots of details still to be provided. That will then go forward to the Ministry of Health, who will take a look at it, and once that document is prepared to their satisfaction, it will go forward for consideration by Treasury Board, but we're some way away from that. And we're just working hard to prepare our side completion of the business case, and we're very excited about the prospect of being able to renew the physical facility of plant in North Island, which has outlived its usefulness. It served the communities well over many years, but we now believe that it needs to be replaced.
Plans to build 2 hospitals were announced nearly 3 years ago after the original notion to build a single hospital to cover the entire region from Campbell River and the Comox Valley was quashed in the face of strong local opposition. Well, the city of Parksville is testing the waters, taking a dip into some new technology, receiving more than $1 million to participate in a unique water conservation project. Parksville and the regional district of Nanaimo are receiving $1.3 million in total from Canada's gas tax fund to store and to recover water in an aquifer. The initiative is to contribute to a sustainable water supply for the entire Oceanside area. The goal of the aquifer is to manage peak demand and to reduce overall demand on the water treatment plants.
Taking water right out of the river system, putting it through treatment and into storage facilities using the natural aquifers is an innovative approach. It has been done in a few other communities, but it's a much more cost-effective way to store water in a safe manner and help assist the natural aquifers be able to meet the demands in the future rather than depending on drawing out of the river when peak demand is at a time when the river flow is at its lowest. So it benefits the fish, it benefits the environment, it benefits the river system, the whole ecosystem, and it helps to contribute to sustainable communities.
The project will help excess water from the Englishman River to flow through the treatment plant and into wells, and then during dry summer months, the water will be withdrawn from those wells and pumped back into the distribution system.
Essentially, what we would be doing is purifying water from our river at a time when we have an ample supply and actually pumping it down into an aquifer and storing it there until such time as we are in our typical drought season during the summer, and then retrieving it at that time. And what this does is it allows us to store vast quantities of water, millions and millions of tons of water. That type of storage in a traditional sense, which would be through, say, a water tower that you would be quite familiar with, is very, very expensive. So this is a very cost-effective way at storing those large quantities of water.
The project is the first of its kind in British Columbia. If the analysis of the water treatment plant proves to be a success, it'll be able to reduce the amount of water that's taken out of the Englishman River during the summer months by no less than 50%. A Parksville couple has received an early Christmas present, a new Soul this year. A Kia Soul, that is. The set of wheels comes courtesy of Tom Harris Kia and Nanaimo Northtown Centre. They won a 2-year lease on the vehicle, given away as part of the shopping centre's 31st anniversary celebration. The lucky winners say they couldn't believe it when they got the call.
I was at home decorating the Christmas tree, and I had a message on the phone, and it was from the sales manager of Kia in Nanaimo saying that we have some good news for you. So I thought, well, I've got to get this tree finished. So I kept working at the tree, and before I could phone back, the manager, Dave, phoned me again and told me what it was about. And so, so it's just beautiful.
Great. So who's going to be driving it?
Ken, mostly.
More than 6,000 people entered the Kia draw.